Uh-oh. The big bad brute is back!
Hey! What's up, my peoples? EmGo here, the freaking geek himself, and at long last we have reached the end of our journey with the Ocular Max Combaticon. Boys, we have reviewed all 5 figures, and if you missed any of those reviews, there's a playlist in the description, so you can check that out. But, yeah, it's about that time. Now, before we get down to combining, there is one thing I want to address. Yes, I am aware that Ocular Max put out an upgrade kit for this set that gives him a new head, a new chest, bigger feet that clip onto the existing ones, and a new rifle. Basically giving him the more G1 toy look. I'm not going to get that. I don't want it. I personally want them to look cartoon. I like the cartoon look, so this works fine for me. But if you want the more G1 toy look, that kit is available. Hey, you have the option, and as always, options are good. So, without further ado, let's get down to combining. Now, one thing we need to show off here, which I thought was pretty cool. Obviously, with the all-in-one gimmick, everything has a place to go. Everything stores somewhere, except for, Vortex's gun. I always wondered where this went in combined mode, but this does go someplace. It goes on this guy right here, and what we do is we bring this down and we open up his back, and you can see there are 2 slots right there. What are those 2 slots for? They're for these 2 tabs on Vortex's gun, and you just pop it through like that. Just sits right in there. You bring that up, and voila, it has a place to store. So everything is stored in the combined mode. That's clever. That's quite clever stuff. Alright, so let's get down to the real business here of combining. So first, we will do the legs. We'll bring in Swindle first. So you want to have this panel open when we do this. Now the combiner peg itself, you want to bring this down like that, so you can then just slide this in, like so, so it butts up right up against that piece there, and then you can straighten the leg out, and I need to lower the camera a little bit here so you can see what's happening. There we go. And his toes have slots in them that will go over these tabs right here, and that is what will lock all of that in place. Sometimes it can be a little bit of a pain in the butt to get lined up, but it is doable. There we go. Lock that in place, and then we can just close this back up here on Swindle, and there we have a leg all done. And then we bring in Brawl, and we're doing the same thing, just angling this down so we can just slot this in like so. Bring that up, and again you have the tabs in there that the toe is going to go over. On Brawls, this is a little harder to get tabbed in, but I think I got it. Actually, I got it. Hey, that's the easiest time I've had doing that. Thank you for your cooperation. So, there we have the legs all done. So now, moving on up. Alright, so now that we're at the top floor, we can attach the arms. I did replace the shoulder connector here, so that's nice and sturdy now. So how the shoulders work is there's this little bit here that you just angle up, and then we bring in the arm and attach it, and then you just push that down, and that locks the arm in place. So that's a clever little system there. So there we have Blast Off, and do the same thing on the other side. Just raise that up, bring in Vortex, clip him in, and there we go, ladies and gentlemen. There we have the Bruticus they call Bruticus. And he looks good. I dig him. I dig him now. One thing I want to talk about here. Now, per the instructions, it tells you to have his hips extended like this. Now, I don't know if that's the way they really want you to have the hips or if that's a mistake, but either way, I don't like how that looks. And it also raises the issue of you know, Onslaught's knees are still there and active. Now, granted, if you want that as an extra point of articulation, sure, hey, knock yourself out, but that just looks weird, and that's not how a leg works. So, me personally, I compress the hips up. Granted, he loses some height, but to me, that just looks a lot better. But as always, it's your toy. Display it however you wish. But like I said, me personally, I think that makes him look a whole lot better. But without further ado, let's get in close here so we can take a look at that noggin. It's a nice Bruticus noggin, lots of nice silver going on there, red visor. You got the purple, brown, black chest piece there. Looks quite good. Got the arms, he has hands. Hands have fingers, hooray for hands with fingers. And again, you got all that nice detailing going on there. Yes, the legs are a little, you know, asymmetrical there. But hey, a tank is bigger than a Jeep. Go figure. Well, you got his feet there. His big old little feet. They're big old little feet. And again, everything has a place to store, which is really nice. You can see it's a very, very clean combiner. So all in all, I think it looks quite good in my opinion. Now, as far as articulation goes, the head can rotate, can do a full 360. Of course, we can accidentally turn the light on. You can look up. You can't look down at all. You can just look straight. That's pretty much it. The head can rotate, all that good stuff. The arms can do a full 360. They can move in and out. He can hit himself in the head with his own shoulder. Hey, why not? You got your bicep rotation. You have a nice elbow bend right there. So you have a nice range of movement there at the elbows. As far as the hands go, let's get on down here. The hands can rotate. They can do a full 360, but then again, hands aren't supposed to rotate a full 360. You can't get his palm all the way up, but for the most part, you get as much movement as an actual hand would turn at the wrist. So, hey. All the fingers are individually articulated. The thumb is on this hinge at the base. Also a ball joint there. You have a double hinge here at the thumb. And each finger has a hinge at the base. And a hinge there and a hinge there. So you have some nice posable hands there. He does have waist rotation, which is ratcheted. He also has an ab crunch, which... correct me if I'm wrong, but is this the first combiner to have an ab crunch? Is it? I'm not sure. I could be misremembering, but I don't know. I don't remember any other combiners that I own that have an ab crunch, but I could just be forgetting something. But either way, impressive that he has an ab crunch. And of course, we can move these little flaps out of the way to accommodate the leg movement. Legs can move forward, that far, back. Now, granted, you have to move this little panel back here if you have the legs compressed up, but back you can get, you know, you can get pretty far back. Outward, you can get that far. Now again, if you have the hips extended, you can get out further because you can straighten out the legs, but if you have them compressed up, that's as far as you're going to get. But you can do the full splits if you have the thigh extended. You have to move this panel back here to access the rotation, but you do have thigh rotation there. Knees, you get 90 degrees of bend. The knees, not as tight as I would like. They can't really hold the leg up. So that could have stood to be a bit tighter. As far as the feet go, they can move up a bit. They can't really move down. The toes can move down, but you also get your ankle tiltage. Now, another thing to note real quick is the replacement shoulder. So apparently the issue was that the ratchet was too weak for Blastoff, because Blastoff does weigh a little more than Vortex. And they didn't take that into account, so the ratchet was not strong enough to support the weight of Blastoff. And now you can hear the ratchet is a lot stiffer and now can hold the weight just fine. I mean, on the Vortex side, it's fine. It's a light ratchet, but he can still support the weight. He can hold his arm straight out. So, I mean, there's no issue there. I honestly now would have preferred that they'd just given you 2 of them so you could switch out both sides, but he can hold his arms up just fine, so hey, problem solved as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, the last thing we need to do here is give him his gun here. Now, as I showed off previously when I reviewed Onslaught, you bring down this little handle. That's made for Onslaught, but this handle right here, that's made for the Bruticus to hold. And this just goes right into his hand, and you just wrap his fingers around it. It doesn't actually tab in, you just basically just wrap his fingers around it. But he does hold it securely, and there you go. He can pew pew bang bang, pew pew bang bang, and now he has his gun. So you got that going on. And of course, these big cannons here can come down over his shoulders if you like, and these cannons in particular are Bluish compatible. Yes, they are. So we can bring in Siege Jetfire's effects parts, and we can plug these in like so. And we can do a big old double broody bloosh! Ah, the broody bloosh. Oh, I love it. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. But there you have that. And the last thing is the light up feature, and you just push down on his head, and his eyes glow a nice bright red, and that looks quite cool. And that stays on for a little bit, and it shuts itself off. But there you go. So there you have that, and now for comparison. Here he is with the Unique Toys Bruticus, so you can see how that works out. Now granted, if you have the hips extended, it'll be a little taller, but with my configuration, that's how that works out. And here he is with J1 Bruticus, who doesn't like to stand when I have Brawl on the right way, because he's precious! Oh, so precious! If you could stand. Here he is with Combiner Wars Devastator, with King, with the Toy World Constructor. He's pretty freaking huge, so yeah. There you have that. And just because, here he is with the Zeta Superion, so you can see how that works out. And here he is with Masterpiece Screamer. And here he is with Masterpiece Megatron. So, there you go. So there you have ASSAULTUS, and yeah, overall I am very, very pleased with this set. The individual figures I feel are good, they're solid, they're enjoyable to mess with. Personally, I think Onslaught is the only one that suffers for the all-in-one gimmick. He doesn't suffer a lot for it, but he suffers a little bit for it, in my opinion anyway. The all-in-one gimmick works very well, so you don't have any parts forming as far as the combined mode goes. I mean, obviously the weapons are always going to be extra parts, but as far as the combined mode itself goes, no parts forming, and it's all integrated really cleverly into the individual robots, so great job with the engineering here. But even the weapons have places to store, so nothing is left off to the side. Everything is incorporated into the combined mode, and that's really cool. The only complaint I have is that the hip ratchets are a little looser than I would like, and the knee ratchets are a little looser than I would like. I mean, as you can see, you can put them in a pose, but it's a bit of a balancing act. It definitely could have benefited from some stronger ratchets in the legs. But yeah, overall, great individual figures, great combined mode as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, I am very, very pleased with this set. I think they did a great job with it. And looking forward to what they do with Defensor, because apparently that's going to be their next all-in-one combiner that they're going to be working on. So definitely looking forward to seeing how that turns out. So there you go. Now, if you would like this or any of Ocular Max's other offerings, you can always check out BigBadToyStore.com for availability. There'll be a link in the description down below so you can check that out. And of course you can check out the ASSAULTUS playlist for any reviews you may have missed. Also linked in the description down below so you can check that out as well. And I think that's it. So don't forget to check out EmGo's, check out Love Peace Paranormal, follow me on Twitter, all of that good stuff down in the description below. And I think that's pretty much all there is to say. So there is the Ocular Max ASSAULTUS. And this is EmGo saying, remember, you don't stop playing because you grow old because you stop playing. Big ache, be proud, palm in your face. Ah, yes, Bruticus! Finally my war titan is complete! And now, we destroy Megatron!
Yeah, I don't think so, Starscream.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, I've known about your little plan the whole time, and, I talked to your boys here and found out what you were paying them, which is nothing. I offered them more, so, yeah, now they work for me.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh!
Money talks, Bruticus shoots.
Ah!